Hello everyone. In this video lecture, we will study the topic counseling and mentoring. So let's start with the video lecture. First, we will study the first topic, that is of counseling. Counseling is a psychological technique that is used in the various forms. The main objective of counseling is to support the employees by providing them advice, guidance, suggestions to solve the prevailing problems, and also improve the physical and the mental condition performance, which can take the many forms. It is conducted with the problem solving approach by the supervisors, managers, and consultant. So it is conducted to listen, to listen and understand the problems and provide them a guidance, advice, and suggest the way to solve them. It is mainly to provide the job related, personal, and confidential help to those who are facing the problems. So it can be defined as the process which is initiated by the responsible managers or counselors in providing the assistance to the employees while they are facing the problems. So it has emerged as the latest HR tool to attract or retain the best employees and also increase the quality of workforce. So in today's fast paced corporate world, there is a virtually the no organization free of stress or has an employees who are stress free. The employees can be stressed, depressed, suffering from too much anxiety arising out of workplace related issues like managing the deadlines, meeting the target, lack of a time to fulfill the personal and family commitment, and also disturbed due to the some personal problems. So here is the one definition given by the Keith Davis. He defines that employee counseling involves a discussion of emotional problems with an employees, with the general objective of decreasing it. Now next is importance of employee counseling. So there are the various importance of employee counselings are listed. That is, it provides an employees with an atmosphere where they can share and discuss their tension, conflicts, and concern and problems with their supervisors. So it is a process of helping an employees to realize their full potential by making them to understand their strength and weaknesses. Means basically, through the process of counseling, employees may find out their strength and weaknesses and tries to solve the problem. Counseling provides an employees with the reassurance and a courage to face the problems confidentially, as I have earlier said. Next is that it releasing the emotional tension, which is an important function of a counseling. So release of tension not only solves the entire problem, but it also removes the mental block to the solution. Counseling session also helps an employees to get an opportunity to understand the business environment and set the realistic goals for the further improvement. Next is that it even gives an employees for an opportunity. It even gives an employees an opportunity to understand an employee's perspective and set the mutually agreeable goals for future. It can help the management to decide that as is about need for a training and a development programs to sharpen the employees skills and increase their level of confidence on the job. A good counseling session generally helps in winning the trust and a faith of employees. It also provides the more autonomy to the employees and positive reinforce their desirable behavior, and also tries to create the condition in which employees is able to learn from their mistakes. So this is about the importance of employee counseling. Next is the types of employee counseling. So there are generally the four types of employee counseling. So under this, the first one is performance counseling. If the performance of employees start declining at the workplace, so there is a need for the performance counseling. Here in this phase, the in this type of counseling, the counselor will try to identify the underlying causes behind the employee's poor performance. The reason could be office stress, unachievable deadlines, problems in interpersonal relation with other employees, etc. After recognizing the problems, the counselor can advise about how to deal with that problems. Next type of counseling is the disciplinary counseling. So this type of the counseling takes place when employees behavior fails short of standard expected. So an employees may suddenly start picking up the fight, become irritable, be absent from the work for long. The counselor should interview the employees and confront him about his behavior problems. Now, next is the personal counseling. The workplace problems are not only the problems that employee face. There are other problems like personal problems, family problems that also affect the performance of employees. So, the family and friends are the integral part of integral part of any human being's life. So, tension in the worker's personal life affect his work performance adversely. The personal problems could include the sickness of family members, uh, marital conflict, dysfunctional family life, problem with the children, family, friends, etc. Now, next is the stress management in workplace. So, working in the modern job environment is a very stressful, with so many deadlines to meet the target and to achieve. So employees may become the anxious and tense due to their high performance workload. This not only affect their productivity on the job but also affect their mental health. So this is all about the types of employee counseling. So next topic that we are going to study is process of employee counseling. So counseling basically is to help an employees to grow and develop in the organization. An effective counselor is a one who helps an employee to achieve them employees to make them aware about their strengths and weaknesses and to improve upon them. Through mutuality, he or she will help an employees to to development, providing them the proper emotional support. Counseling process generally has the three important phases. First one is the rapport building. So, it is essential for any effective counseling outcome. In this phase, the good counselor attempt to establish the climate of acceptance, warmth, support, and openness and mutuality. He or she does this by listening the employee's problem and feeling, and by communicating his or her understanding to employees, and by expressing a genuineness of interest in them. Next phase is exploration. So, beside accepting the employees, listening to them, and establishing a climate of openness, a counselor attempts to understand as well as helps an employees to understand their own situational strength, weaknesses, problems, need, and counseling skill lies in this. Next phase is action planning. So the counselor and the employee jointly work out or plans the specific action or a steps for the development of employees. So this is these are the three phases of employee counseling. Now, next topic is mentoring. So mentoring is an ongoing relationship that is developed when the senior and a junior between the senior and a junior employees. So it provides the guidance and the clear understanding of how the organization goes to achieve its vision and mission to juniors. The meetings are not structured and regular than which is generally held in coaching. The executive mentoring is generally done by someone who is from inside of the company. So, if, the executive can learn a lot from the mentoring. So, by dealing with a diverse mentee, the executive is given the chance to grow professionally by developing the management skills, learning how to work with the people, with the diverse environment, culture, and language, and also with the personality type. So, executives also have the mentors in case, let us consider a case when the executive is new to the organization. Senior executive could be assigned as a mentor to assist the new executive settle into his role. So, mentoring is one of the important method for preparing them for a future executives. This method allows the mentor to determine what is to be required to improve the mentee's performance. So this is about the mentoring. Now, once the mentor identifies the problem, once the mentor identifies the problem, weaknesses, and the area that needs to be worked upon, the mentor can advise the relevant training. The mentor can also provide the opportunity to work with the special processes and projects that required use of proficiency. There are some of the important key points which are need to be considered while considering the mentoring. That is, mentoring will focuses on attitude development, and it is conducted for the management level of employees, not for the lower level of employees. And mentoring is done by someone who is from the inside of the company, and it is generally the one to one interaction session um, between the executives and the upper level executive who are going to mentor that newly recruited executive. It also helps in identifying the weaknesses and focus on the areas that need to be improved. Now thank you very much for listening it very patiently.